Today is July 10th, 2011. This is the boiler room that I installed or designed back in 1992. And I had my brother Steve and my nephew Steve Johnson come out from Anchorage and then put it in. And they did a great job back then installing this system. These are 𝗷𝗲𝗟 boilers. It's a while since I looked at them. They're 𝗷𝗲𝗟 P568, and the nozzles are for the oil burners are 150s and 80-degree Bs. These are new burners that I put in. About 4 years ago I took the old ones out because they weren't energy efficient. And so these new burners I put in are just absolutely phenomenal burners. They're made by Beckett, and they have a time delay on the pump, so when the burner starts, no oil goes into the burner. It blows all the fumes out before it ignites, and when it shuts off it does the same thing. And they really run efficient compared to the old burner. But the old burners were creating a lot of soot. Recently I just put in these Tigger loops because we put in a double wall oil tank on the outside sitting on the ground, and so we went into the top of the tank and came out into these new Tigger loops. So we have a two-pipe system inside the building with the Tigger loops. The original installation was a two-pipe system that I designed that goes out to a fuel tank on the outside of the building that's up in the air about 6 feet. It's gravity fed to this day tank back here. See it that we installed. You just barely see the day tank. It's a 6-gallon tank, preheat tank for coal oil in the wintertime, and we have a single pipe coming from the main fuel tank to that tank, which fills up, and that's the vent that goes up through, keep it from overflowing. And then it's on a two-pipe system. You can see the half-inch black iron supply and return. Top one says supply, and then back there I think we have, you'll see the gate valve, and the return goes back. That's the secondary control that set at 200 degrees in case the primary control fails, which we have down here is the primary control, which is the main controller for the boiler. And here is the low water cutoff. It's identical to, both boilers have 𝗙𝗥𝗏𝗙𝗕𝗢 equipment. And a few years ago, I think it was 2003, I installed this 𝗙𝗢𝗥𝗘𝗏 energy management system, and that system saves probably 20%, not probably, is right around 20% fuel costs we save by installing this. And right now the temperature is 50 degrees outside. See the temperature, 50 degrees. And we change it, and the boiler temperature is 138 degrees. Boiler temperatures. So, based on outside air temperature, which you have a sensor right here that goes to the outside, is telling the boilers that we don't need to run 190 or 200 degrees because it don't take that much to heat the building up. So this energy management keeps it down, and we burn, because it's 138 degrees, 140 degrees. The boilers don't run as fast, or as long, excuse me, and it saves on fuel. So that's where we get the 20 degrees, 20% in savings cost. Over here we have a circulating pump for the main store, which I put in on the first floor. 2 unit heaters on the second floor, 2 unit heaters, and I designed a reverse return system. The second pump there that we're looking at here goes back to the receiving area where there's just a one loop going through about 6 unit heaters for heat back there. And this other little pump here goes up to an apartment that we set up on a monoflow heating system, and they have radiators up there with each individual thermostats. And of course, I'm writing on the wall. And it's 2006 when I put the new burners in. And up here, when I first came out here, nobody was doing too much for maintenance, so I wrote a bunch of stuff on the walls there to instruct the personnel here how to operate these boilers when we're gone. This is a bypass switches, bypass 𝗙𝗏𝗏, where I'll kick it on, and what it does is revert when I kick these on. Oops, turn the switches on. When I kick these 2 switches on, it bypasses the 𝗙𝗏𝗏 and reverts back to the original boiler primary control. And they're set at 200 degrees. So it's from below outside, and it's on the 𝗙𝗏𝗏, the boiler will be on 200 degrees. So today we're going to take and remove both of these burners. Take this cover here off on both boilers, and We're also going to remove this stack, and then we're going to remove this cover here, and we're going to clean the flues out. So our next shot here that we're going to have is going to be all the stuff removed and cleaning the bores.